Hi everyone, Susie here today with a process video. Today my video is featuring tags, and I'm showing you how to use all of your little leftover scraps that you might have laying around and older products. In fact, a lot of the products I'm using are older, and I will tell you the name of products that I know the name of and that I still have the packaging for. Otherwise, I'm just going to show you how to create cute gift tags, birthday tags, tags for your scrapbooking pages and your journals. And I'm starting with a tag that the shape I die cut from my silhouette machine. I have some Tim Holtz, that little net stamp is Tim Holtz, and I'm adhering some buttons and some Nouveau Tonic glossy dots. And the rub-on is a very old Lily Bee rub-on. They used to have 12 by 12 rub-on sheets that were really great. And this next tag I'm using is a paper tray ink tag die. And I'm starting out with a stamp. It's an Allie Edwards stamp. I think this is Allie Edwards for Technique Tuesday, so you know that that's kind of old. Using my little mini Misty. I love it for these little small projects. It makes your stamping nice and crisp and clean. The little felt bird is it was a package that was literally falling apart in my stash, and I thought I need to use these cute little birds for something. And I believe this is a Sassafras Lass felt bird. And it's so old that it did have a little piece of adhesive on the back, but it didn't stick, so I had to use my liquid adhesive there. And now I am adding some sequins from Lucy's Cards. And with this tag, this is die cut from some Spellbinder dies. And I'm using an older flower that I made, and I'm showing you how I make them here first. I won't be using the one that I'm making, but I just wanted to show you how I make them. I just die cut circles, cut them down the middle halfway through, and then glue them in a slight cup shape and layer them. And here I used 3 contrasting pattern papers, and now I'm just hand cutting some leaves for the flower and sticking them under the first layer of the flower. In the flower that I'm going to use, I actually stitched around the edges of the circles, and I didn't do this on this because I am just showing you how to make these little cupped flowers that are really super sweet, I think. I'm sorry about my head getting in the frame there. I have 3 green buttons here that I adhere with my hot glue gun to the center of the top layer of the flower. And here I'm just adding some foam adhesive to the back to balance that cupped flower to make it a little bit more stable. I finished that tag off with some Nouveau crystal drops, and then I am starting another tag with a paper tray ink tag die, and I'm using a basic gray, I think they were called felties or woolies, I guess, flower. Stamping more leaves on this, and then adding the 2 strips of pattern paper from paper tray ink. Positioning them here. Sorry if this voiceover is weird. I had to edit this a whole bunch because it was too long, so the voiceover and the actual video don't exactly match. I apologize for that. And then here I'm adding a sentiment using some VersaFine ink. And that stamp set is from Cartabella. And here I'm just trying to peel off this self-adhesive backing to those flowers, and it clearly is too old to do that, so I end up using my hot glue gun to adhere the felty, which worked just fine. Actually, that was not a hot glue gun. That was just liquid adhesive. I used my hot glue gun for other things on these tags, so I got confused. And now I'm just tying a little. Can't remember what you call this ribbon. It's got loops, little tiny loops on it. I'm adding the ribbon, and I think I added some Nouveau crystal drops. And I believe this is my last tag. This is a pre-printed tag from the Silhouette Shop. It is printed on, it is craft. It says, "Hello, I love you." And I use my Misty stamping tool to stamp happy little moments on it. This bike is from a stamp set from Paper Tray Ink, which I stamped and die cut. And the flower is, I believe, just from the Target bin, and I decided to do a non-traditional background and just cut the leaf and layer the bike over the top, which I love how that turned out. Then again, I'm using that liquid Scotch adhesive to adhere my bike. Super cute tag. This was one of my favorites. I'm using my acrylic block here to make some weight on that to hold it in place. This is a tag that I made on a camping trip a couple of weeks ago. I had taken some supplies for downtime. I made this, colored in this little butterfly. Oh, and now I'm back on to my next tag. I'll go back to the butterfly, I believe. This tag was a white tag, and I backed it with some red paper and stamped this sentiment using my Misty again. Cleaning it off here with some baby wipes. And I add another one of the felt birds with googly eyes from Sassafras Last. Adding a grosgrain black bow. I started out with it over her head, under her head. I think I ended up with it under her head. Process of elimination, I guess. Then I'm adding some washi tape, and I am cutting it and using my X-Acto knife because I don't want the washi tape to go beyond the white cardstock. I didn't want to wrap it around the back. And I added just 2 strips of washi tape to make that border along the bottom. There's the bird, there's my bow. you'll see I end up adding it to the top, and then I eventually change it to the back. Super cute little birds with googly eyes. Then I'm adding some Nouveau crystal drops. This is Carnation Pink. I'm using the hot glue gun to adhere the bow and trimming the end tails of that bow. Now I'm back to that butterfly. I'm adding some sheer ribbon to the top. That is the stamp I colored in while we were camping, so you didn't see me process that. And I'm adding ribbon to the top of this tag and using black grosgrain to match the bow on top of the bird's head. And I think this is the last tag that I do. It is also a pre-printed tag that I printed up from my silhouette. I'm just trimming up some background candy stripe paper that I'm going to adhere to the back. Again, the white, just needed some kind of backing in my mind. I adhere this with my tape runner. Yeah, you can get a lot of pre-printed, really cute tags from Silhouette if you have a Silhouette, or a Cameo, I mean. This one has printed on the bottom, you have my whole heart, and I decided to add another sentiment across the center of the heart. There I'm adding a toothpick flag from Studio Calico. I believe I got the package at Tuesday morning. It says "You and Me." And again, I did it backwards. I did my stamping after I added embellishments, which was silly. I added an Allie Edwards stamp. Oh no, it's not an Allie Edwards stamp. This is a paper tray ink stamp. It says, let us meet each other with a smile, for the smile is the beginning of love. And then I heat embossed it with some red embossing powder, and added some sequins from Lucy's Cards. And I do use liquid adhesive to adhere my sequins. I find that they stay pretty good with those. And in the end, you will see some still shots of each of the tags. There might be a couple of things that I added or took away, but for the most part everything is on video. Again, I'm sorry about the weird translation between the voiceover and the video. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.